to be hosting Mike's show. I feel like when the mom's away, the kids will play kind of thing, or the dad's away. He's
Uh,
the
you know
dad
what's
of
funny is Mike was like, "Hey man, I'm just gonna cancel, not do the show," and I go, "No, you're not. No, you're not. This is." I go, "It's not about you anymore, Mike. It's about the community and uplifting everybody in the community." So I said, "You're gonna have the show whether you are there or not." So Janice
exactly.
stepped up to the plate, girl.
Well, thank you, and I'm seeing people coming in. Oh my gosh, Nadine, I've not met you before, but it's nice to see you. And
Oh my
Raquel's here.
goodness. And here
That's
we go. So here's interesting. Oh, I wonder if it's gonna happen again. Let me see.
Are you gonna come in and out? Is that what you're telling me you're gonna do
Because
tonight?
this happened last night, you guys. I'm wondering if low.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it's not, but it seems to be restrained.
Hmm. Well, you know what? I'm gonna then go over on a monologue, and I'm gonna
All
pull out
right,
my stops when I
let's
was
go.
a kid and audition
Raquel, pop in.
for shows.
You
You're
know,
coming and go.
welcome to our world. It looks like Mike's is not streaming, Raquel. Can you do me a favor and check that out? That'd be funny. Well, we got a lot of people coming. Why don't we run some music? I'm gonna do a little chatty chat with our good friends over at Restream. Janice has nothing to do with you, beautiful. We're just gonna have some fun here.
Okay,
Are you ready? Let's do
you
this.
cue the intro.
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashebrainer, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
Hey, I
Hey.
love that intro. It just makes me so happy.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You did
Well,
that, didn't you?
and that is what today is going to be all about, a celebration of happiness, of
Mhm.
success, of people who care. So tell us about yourself, my friend. Welcome.
Well, thanks. I am just for those of you who don't know me, and I don't know if you're going to run all of our great sponsors because I'm one of the sponsors of this show. Did that happen or no? Regardless, hi guys.
We have not, but we can add the spot. We can well, for today, we really want to do is highlight just two things today and just kind of keep it clean because Tausi is you. So I figured you could talk about Tausi. Tausi.
Tausi,
Tausi.
Tausi.
Well,
For
why don't
those
we
of
just
you
make that why
who
don't we
don't
just make that the
know,
entire show? We'll just make that entire show. Just be like Tausi every other word.
no, but Tausi does go well with wine and coffee and ice cream. Those are the things I've tested with it, but if anybody else can test, I would like to know that. But Tausi is the reinvention of the pillowcase that supports your head, neck, and or back. Also, my friend who is on safari, she sat on her Tausi after she bruised her tailbone. So that's what I am. I'm an inventor and also somebody who gets myself involved in a lot of different things. And today we're going to talk with three women who I am working closely with on their next. And these are amazing award winning women. And Sia, you know them, I know them, and I want our amazing audience and Hounds of Business community to know them really well on this angle that I'm interacting with them.
Yes, absolutely. So before we do that though, let's kind of feel I do apologize. We're off a little bit here, guys. So there's some technical things going on and I apologize. So before we run on that, let's go ahead and let's get some good juju back into this mix and let's talk about what's coming up here for Mike with the Hounds of Business. So the community hall is coming up September 7th. It is next week. And it's for those who are wondering, what is this whole Pounds of Business, this community pack, what this all means for everyone. And it's really about professionals, entrepreneurs supporting each other on LinkedIn to actually do business together. So it is a free community. Let's be very clean and clear here. It is for people who want to seriously create real relationships. So then you can actually make introductions where it makes sense.
Mhm.
Janice, you were one of the results of now we're like hardcore like cheerleaders for Tausi. So thought I would throw that up and out there.
That's right. I found out about the Hounds back in February or March, and I just saw a great group of people supporting one another online on LinkedIn. And I was just like, I tried supporting one of each you guys and then hopping over, but you didn't know me. And then I started finding out a little bit more about the Hounds. And something that you said really resonated with me, that people do business with those who they know, they like, and they trust. That also is in line with influencer marketing these days,
It
with those who
is.
they know, they like, they trust. So, if you're willing to know, like, and trust a person on TikTok or Instagram, why not do it within LinkedIn and get to know, like, and trust a community? And that's what the House of Business community really is all about. It is about connecting with people we really start to care about. And now I want to send business to, like, Nicole. I knew someone who's a graphic artist. She's a great graphic artist, and boom, her name is the first on top of mind. So I sent that link to him about Nicole.
Oh, you
It's
mean you mean this person right here that just said
this
evening,
person right
folks?
here. Yes.
That that random woman right there, Nicole and Guy Galindo.
Yep. I am more than happy to support my community because you guys support me too. You're helping to cheerlead a brand new business that launched a year ago. And I appreciate you.
Oh,
It's
thank you. And here's a wonderful thing about you, Janice. And I think what people really gravitate towards is you're so authentic to who you are. You are literally this person I see, and I know within 10 days I'm gonna give that face right there that I see a big old hug. So, you know, again, it's like taking it to the next level when you meet in real life, right? IRL. And one of the things that I know we'll be talking about IRL is this little adventure that Nicole is actually part of and participating with as well. So
ah,
talk to me about this, sister, because you are the executive producer.
I know, I am. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that one, I heard about Traci Lamb through LinkedIn, and because she had commented on Christina and Cindy Harden Weiss's post. This is, you know, all because of LinkedIn. She commented, I commented, then I started seeing her comment other places, so I would comment as well, and then she said, "I'm doing a TV show." And, once she said that, and I used to be the executive director for Oregon's film and television industry out here, or the trade association, they, I said, "I want in." And ever since that jump into the pool, 3rd episode of Caregiving Worldwide, I've been working with Traci, just supporting what she's doing as a friend. And then she said she wanted to start another show about products for caregivers. And I said, let me help you. And I am now executive producing and just brought in a line producer today who's a friend of mine from the industry. And, it's just really important to support what Traci's doing because it is changing the world. And these women are all about vetting products so caregivers now know what they can buy that is oh gosh, the most I'm sorry losing my words. I'm so excited that it's just a vetted product that is definitely going to help the caregivers. And also where they can buy it is on the website. We're having a marketplace, a show, and an education and a life hack because you don't always have to buy something. So they might be like, you know what? Well, I think you need to buy a towel. See, they might be like, you can roll up a towel. Granted, a towel won't
Yes.
strap in place, but you could do that.
Yes, 100%. So it's gonna be and much needed. I hate to say it again because we did lose my father. I wish I'd known this was all happening at the time, because I think it would have given him a lot of comfort for my dad. I mean, he was bedridden, right? And it would have been nice to have known some of the great tools available that would have helped my stepmother take care of my father. You know what I mean? So yeah, everyone's safe and sound. It is a one-stop shop. There's so much meaning and heart behind it, but there's also a lot of love. There's a lot of opportunity for everyone to live better, safer, and peace of mind for everybody. So
Exactly.
ooh, we're gonna talk more about safe and sound. We're gonna talk more about safe and sound. So, Janice, would
Yes.
you like to talk to me about our guests here that we have? Because I'm pretty darn excited. If you wouldn't mind
Yeah,
teeing up and introducing.
oh my gosh, I want to introduce everyone to Nikki Jardin. She is one of two women who, there's Nikki. Hi, Nikki.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Nikki is the publisher of Mirador magazine. And for those of you who don't know about Mirador, I'm going to let Nikki tell us why she started it and what is Mirador magazine. So Nikki, meet Sia, meet Nikki, and welcome.
Hello, everybody. How are you? It's really nice to see you. Janice, thanks for bringing me on today. I really appreciate being here. So, yeah.
Of course.
It's good time.
So tell me, what is Mirador magazine?
So Mirador is it's a print and online magazine. We developed it for people who are experiencing cognitive change. It's a dementia-friendly magazine. I like to say it is just a magazine that's a little bit easier to read, a little bit easier to access. I created Mirador for my aunt, who was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's at the age of 63. And she was having a hard time, I was noticing she was having a hard time accessing the magazines and the reading material that she loved. And this was back in 2017. I started going online and trying to find reading materials that were designed specifically for this community. And I was really surprised to find that there was a total of zero. At that time. And I was stunned because, there's millions of people who are experiencing cognitive change due to dementia and other brain trauma. And I thought for sure there would be reading materials that were designed specifically for this audience. I was a freelance writer for a long time. I've worked on local magazines. My folks ran a trade newspaper, so I'm pretty familiar with the print industry. So it was a pretty natural fit. I mean, it took a while for me to kind of keep looking and trying to find something. And so in the end, I'm like, well, maybe I should try to put something together. So we put together, I grabbed my dear friend Tave Fache, who I had been playing music with in a band, and she'd done a lot
I'm
of
going to interrupt you right here. Nikki is a kick-ass musician. Sorry, I said that.
I don't know about.
She's got this great, cool band. She is known and Nikki lives in the Portland area where I am from. So when I got to meet Nikki, it was like meeting a little bit of a celebrity. Okay, we have a question in the audience. What instrument do you play, Nikki?
I play the drums in a couple of bands, and I try to play some guitar and ukulele.
Couple of bands. Okay, did you hear that? A couple of bands. Like you can go to this like really cool hip place in Portland on Mississippi Avenue is where like some really great musicians hang out. Nikki is there. Yeah,
true.
Well,
I mean, it's a really good time. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I love it so much. And so that's how I met.
And tell them what the name of your band is, by the way.
So the band that I'm in with Tave is called Girl Haggard Band. It's an all-female Merle Haggard tribute band. We've been around about 10 or 11 years now, and it's a blast. We have a lot of fun, and we do Merle Haggard songs and obviously and things that Merle covered. So Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton, Jimmy Rogers, all kinds of fun. That sort of genre of country music. So, and then I play in another band, which is sort of, I don't know, post-pop punk thing. It's fun. So Tave and I met doing music, and we run the band together, and so she was sort of a natural fit for me to ask if she wanted to be involved in this project. And so here's Mirador. This is our latest issue. It's a beautiful cover by an artist named Simran Gleason. And so Mirador is a 32-page print magazine. We do features on nature and history, nostalgia. We do a postcard, we do a recipe. It's sort of a general interest magazine. We also have activities in there like a word search and spot the difference. And we do all this in-house. We write most of it ourselves. We do have some great contributors that have come in. Judy Stock, who's part of Teepa Snow's Positive Approach to Care core team, who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's herself. She's a regular
So
contributor.
Nikki, I'm going to interrupt
Yeah.
you right here, and I'm going to ask you some questions. So
Yes, please do.
when I first met Nikki, you guys, and by the way, we're looking at somebody who's an award-winning magazine now. They're brand spanking new. And Nikki just took a big gulp. Nikki, you're supposed to have alcohol, like wine, but this is a happy hour. So Nikki, tell us first the name of the award that you won.
So we're so honored we recently won the 2023 National Mature Media Award, the Gold Award, the top award for magazine, for the magazine. So, and which is great because it was an honor for one thing. Oh yeah, hey, there's that's volume 1, our very first one, the cover. And yeah, so we won that award and we're so honored. And what was so cool about it, winning the award is always really nice to get that sort of validation and recognition. It's a national award, but in the official announcement for this award, they put our name in the same line as AARP, which also won a bunch of awards they won for a lot of like individual articles, and Next Avenue, which is another one fantastic magazine, and caring.com, which is a terrific website also. So to get mentioned along with those like industrious, incredibly robust,
seasoned, right? We all know AARP, and that's seasoned. You are a brand new magazine, and it's not just for people with neurodiversity. It's great created for that, but this is like an adult magazine that does not have the riffraff and the ads and it's like the PBS of magazines of quality reading, which is why I said, let's produce a TV show, because I'm like, it's just so great. And that TV show, Mirador TV, we shot in 3 days, 2 episodes.
Gosh.
In the rain in Oregon. We have a band, 2 bands playing, or 2 musicians playing, one with an accordion, one with the guitar. We have 2 cooking shows segments. We have poetry. We have stories. We have games. We learned how to use the camera so we could actually film it ourselves. It was an endeavor, and I'm so excited that Mirador TV is going to be on Traci Lamb's Caregiving Worldwide Network.
It's really very exciting. We're really thrilled about it, and I'm so happy that you are like not only just a part of it, but a huge producer and a big part of shaping this, because I know that you get our vision. You understand what we're doing here at Mirador, which is to provide entertainment and access for this particular community. And yes, it was created for people experiencing dementia like my aunt, but we've also found that it's a really great tool for cross-generational sharing of reading and doing activities. And I get comments all the time from our readers that husbands and wives love to just read it together.
I love that.
Children and their mothers, grandchildren.
Important. And that actually that leads me to want to bring in Raquel, and let's do Traci as well at the same time, because I think this conversation needs to continue with these ladies who are also award winners. And Raquel just won an award, and I am so thrilled about your award, and I want you to tell everybody about it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me here tonight. You are doing a phenomenal job at hosting, Janice. So thank you so much. You're always awesome. I am so, just starstruck by just the sheer power of women out here who are just doing so many amazing things in the world. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share the stage with you. As far as the award that I won not too long ago. So I'm, still kind of like in the twilight zone with it because it's so exciting. It's a health hero, specifically for the work that I've been doing with the elderly community and the communities with, disabilities, whether they're physical, psychological, or intellectual here in Houston. So I've been working with the underserved populations for over 15 years now.
Wow.
And specifically for my Latino community. But it's encompassing. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond the healthcare. It goes beyond just pairing individuals with resources. It goes to the fundamentals, which is education, which is very near and dear to my heart. So I'm excited to share those news with you, and it's been very humbling to be honest. Just because everything that I do it from the bottom of my heart, just to make sure that individuals thrive and age in place as they should.
I think, first of all, Raquel, when I think of you, you've got the little dancing queen next to your name, but I really feel that dancing queen should be just surrounded by hearts, because you are all hearts in everything that you do, in your interaction on LinkedIn with people, in your uplifting others, in your work in healthcare, in your writing your book. Hello, can we just say you're an author? So Nikki, meet Raquel, because you are both have writing in common, and you have the love of words to convey a message. And
Yes,
I'm
yes.
so proud of you for doing that.
Thank you. No, this was definitely an effort that took more than just one person. It took a lot of encouragement, just because it was my first time, but it was actually an anthology, and as you can see there in the screen, 99 other fantastic Latinos around the globe, contributed to this. But it is very monumental for me. It's in a step because it speaks about the legacy, it speaks about why I am doing the things that I'm doing nowadays, and my fervent desire to lead with kindness, lead with love, but never forget that, we must educate ourselves. We must become informed and how to lend a hand to our neighbor, how to help one another. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have community, we really have nothing in
We have
life.
nothing, because community is what is common within the blue zones and how we live longer and better. And that leads us to the common denominator in all of this, which is Traci Lamb. Traci Lamb, an multi-award winning woman. Traci, you just received the award for the 2023 Most Influential Women in Healthcare. Am I getting that title correct?
Yeah, it was most influential caregiving CEO in the southeast of the U.S. So yeah, that was really cool. It's like Raquel says, it's very humbling when you win these awards. Because the reality is it's not about us. We're just doing what we love to do. I follow my heart. Everybody that knows me knows I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve. It's just who I am. It's my business, and that's why I try to bring in all my friends to work with me, because it's just kind of, again, who I am and what I do. I love the fact that I met Janice, and she was willing to take a chance on me with my original TV show. And in my third episode, I didn't even have the TV show yet when she and I met in December. She was willing to just jump in with both feet and go, yes, absolutely. And I was like, oh my goodness, she said yes. It blew my mind. It really was kind of crazy in a beautiful way. And but it's part of what makes community. It's part of the reasons I love the Hounds. Everybody, I love being able to pull as many of the Hounds in as I possibly can, whether it's, Janice or Raquel or Nicole or Mike or, Chris or, all these people. I mean, Al, I mean, the list just goes on and on of all these different people that I'm wanting to pull in, because it's not about me. It takes a village, and,
Right.
I'm really super, super excited about everything that we're doing.
I agree, and I appreciate you calling out our folks who are listening in, and Chris, and I'm seeing Nicole and Jesus, and just the support that we're getting from everybody who's listening. I thank you so much. These women are really remarkable, and what I'm excited to share is there is a through line between these award-winning women and seeing women actually even more elevated. So what we have coming up, and Traci, do you want to announce like the really exciting things that are on
Yes, I would.
Caregiving
Yeah.
Worldwide?
Yeah, so I'm super excited. I want Caregiving Worldwide streaming network to be global. Caregiving is a global problem. Healthcare is a global issue. It's not a United States problem. It's a global issue. Mirador Magazine needs to be helping people everywhere, not just in the U.S. Mirador TV needs to be seen everywhere, not just in the U.S. And
Wait, did you just say
one of the
Mirador
ways-
TV?
yeah, and one of the main reasons we can do it is we're going to have a Latino Hispanic show, and Raquel is going to be hosting.
Cheers.
Cheers to Raquel. I am so super excited. She has agreed to host. She's going to be hosting a show that she's going to be talking to other Latino Hispanic healthcare people in the healthcare industry worldwide. And so that show is going to launch next year, and we are super excited to have her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Y'all really love doing that to me, don't
Yes,
you?
that's right. That's right.
Oh my goodness. Well, let me tell you that I'm still telling somebody like pinch me, because I can't believe that everything that I've been asking the universe is coming to fruition. It's coming and it's telling me, okay, this is where you belong. This is where you should have been. And it's coming so fast, y'all, that I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. I haven't processed it. But let me tell you, I am eternally grateful for the opportunity, for putting the trust in me, being a voice that will carry the message that collectively we're trying to put out in the world, which really is leading with kindness, leading with heart, and never forgetting that we are advocates for those individuals who have no voice or who feel that they're silent. And for those individuals who need our help, we will be there. And as you know, dear and near to my heart is my Latino population, my Latino community. And so I thank you for giving me the opportunity to have a voice within this fantastic network, a global network that will specifically, give them the tools that they need in order to live a better life, a better quality of life, because all of us are going through so many stressors, right? All of us are going through so many things that may affect our mental wellness, and we will have a network, several TV shows that will help each and every component of that and to lead healthier lives. So I'm going to try not to cry, okay? I know Randy House is going to be like, yes, she's going to cry.
That's not on your show.
Oh, you
get
can't
to
cry
in
because see,
mine.
if you cry, I cry. and then it's
Oh
gonna
my
get ugly.
gosh.
And Nikki, isn't Mirador Magazine not only just in English?
Right. Yes, that's true. So we have a fantastic friend of ours, Najee Tovar. She's she's the translator for the district. She's a native of Colombia, and Tavian actually took a Spanish class from her back in the day. But she lovingly translates all of our magazines into Spanish so that we have them available. And I think we've got 6 right now. And we're working on getting the other ones. We would love to get these also in print. I just spoke with a fantastic family just a couple of days ago that asked if we had Mirador available in print, and I had one copy of one because I'd run one off just as a test, and I sent that down to them, and they were telling me how that there is a reading desert for this sort of material for people in this community, and that they used to have like People magazine in Spanish. They don't anymore. They used to have Cosmo in Spanish. They don't anymore. So even really high, high circulation mainstream magazines are not available. And so let alone a magazine or reading material that is created for people with visual acuity issues. So I'm super passionate about that. I have two aunts. They both have passed now. The aunt actually
Inspired.
that I created the magazine for just passed recently. But my other aunt Sharon was a huge advocate for bilingual and working with the Hispanic community and a Spanish community as part of our heritage. And so she would have absolutely wanted me to create Mirador bilingually. And so we would like to do more of it, more, and get it out there more.
You
So,
know, and
yeah.
That is,
Thank you for asking.
that brings me up to, well, what is it like? We have obstacles, like bringing, you know, we see the possibilities, and yet to get this message, this heart, this joy out into the world that increases the quality of life seems a little bit of a tricky lift, because it's not an immediate return on investment. And that is a capitalistic view of this world. And I would like to sort of challenge everybody who's even listening and get it out there. Like, maybe we could reframe capitalism and be about caringism, if that's a thing, or like the care economy. You know, the care economy is a way that returns to us tenfold. You know, like, I cared for my dad, hence I invented a product which helps other people. And the through line, I'm just going to say, with all of the shows, is that there's going to be a Talcy on everybody's set. I'm just saying. that's just like a given, if I can put a plug in. But speak about, what is the obstacle that you're facing within your own business to help this caring economy?
Well, you know, for me, honestly, you know, it's been interesting. You know, I mean, honestly, most people that know my story is really kind of crazy and convoluted, and been super fast. You know, the last probably 6 months. But I think the thing for me is just, you know, you just want to be taken seriously. You know, I think is the main thing, at least for me. You know, you just want to be taken seriously, and I think at times, you know. Especially if you're a woman and if you haven't been in business, you know, for 5 years or longer, or if you haven't worked your way up to the corporate ladder, or, you know, whatever, which neither of those apply with me. You know, I mean, I think that people kind of just look at you at times and say, you know, well, you haven't paid your dues. You know, you really haven't paid your dues, you know, and how can you have a really successful business, whether, you know, it's just a small business, a medium business, or a global business? How in the world can you be successful at it? And how can we take you seriously when you don't have those kinds of things, you know, that you can lean back on? And so I think, to me, I just look at those things as kind of a challenge. I may be crazy, but I just kind of look at them like, okay, well, you know, we'll just kind of break that barrier, and we'll just kind of break through that ceiling and say, okay, well, that's okay. You know, we're gonna show you that we can do that. So
I applaud you on that. I think whoever is saying that you have to pay your dues, or you have to have so many, I used to hate that phrase when I was a kid. My dad would say it to me all the time. You know, you got to pay your dues. I was like, remember those little toy, the Mexican jumping bean? Do you remember that toy? That's how I experienced my career. I had managers that were baby boomers who were young enough to be my managers. So I popped to different jobs. I refused to pay my dues and stay at a job under a terrible manager or somebody who I could never advance. So this paying your dues or other people's opinions of how you should do something is malarkey in my world. And I think,
Well,
you're a trailblazer. What, Nikki? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yes, no, I agreed. And one of the things that makes me crazy about that phrase is that, what dues are they talking about? Because I've paid plenty of them, and they're just different experiences along the way that have resulted in my being able to do this. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. But, you know, have I ever published a magazine before? No. Does it mean that I can't? No, because I have done lots of other things. And if I can't learn how to do something myself, guess what? I have an incredible network of people that I can resource out to. So that's all I have to say about it. Actually, I have plenty to say, but I'm going to keep quiet.
Well, for
And
me,
that's true too. Go ahead, Raquel.
oh, I would love to hear what else Nikki has to say. Just because I've been labeled as a little outspoken and a little too candid in the past, but you know what? It is these conversations that we need to start having. These conversations will inspire other individuals to speak out, right, and speak up. Because we go through so many different things in our lives and different scenarios in the roles that we play, that sometimes it leads us thinking that we are may not be good enough, right? That's something that was told to me as I was, growing up and living my young adulthood life. Like, that life is not for you. Yes, you're getting a career, writing a book is not for you. That's not for us, meaning Latinos. And I chose to be the black sheep of the family and digress from those molds that were preconceived already for me. I was like, that's not my reality. And I said, I will defy that. I will go against that, not to be ill-intentioned or with a bad heart, but to really live out my life and my desires, as Raquel Flores, whatever she wants to put out to the world. But it is sad sometimes that, we have to conform to what society says that we need to, the molds that we need to fit.
Mhm.
But I bet to differ in some things. And I think that in this movement that we have going on, empowering women from all walks of life, from all different industries, it will get to a point. I know where Dr. Constance Leland, she said it will take 134 years, according to research, for women to get the same equality in regards to that, and financial support for business, opening businesses, etc. So, but yeah, that's been my experience. But I think that the main thing that we can gather from this is that we can talk about these things, start the conversations, really be the spur that really just keeps driving, going and going and going, in order to just make the difference. Even though we're different, we can still make a difference.
100%. And I love that your network, Traci, is really uplifting women because women are predominantly, or used to be, and it's changing. I'm just going to say the millennials are changing. The old staid women are the caregivers, so that's exciting. That we've got 47% of caregivers are male now, which is beautiful. But the fact that your shows are initially showcasing and highlighting women, and I think that is a beautiful entry to somebody who has now a TV network. Do you understand?
Oh, well, the reality is that I think that's one reason why I did want to have a show, like a women's empowerment show, and that we are going to do that. We're going to have a women's empowerment show. I think that's important, and I am having women initially at least host all the shows that are coming out this year. I do have 3 men hosts that are coming out next year, so I'm not being discriminatory.
No.
Actually, I think 2 of the men actually are actually on here. Chris from Walking Tall is actually I'm calling him out. He is getting his own TV series. He knows that. He and I have talked more than once.
Mental health, right?
Yes, mental health. We're going to be doing more than one show on mental health. Chris and us and Walking Tall are going to be doing a lot of things together. So I'm calling out Chris. He's all in the comments. I'm also calling out, let's see, Dr. Brian T. Long. He's also in the comments. He's going to be having a show as well. So anyway, and Al Lyman, so we're doing a lot of different things. But I think with women in particular, especially this year, right now, we need to be able to, uplift everybody and get the healthcare industry recognizing that we can do elevated things, and we know what we're doing. And, if somebody had told me, no, you don't know what you're doing with TV, I didn't. I had no clue, but I just decided to go for it and ask. And I got told yes. And then I was like, okay, well, then I'll just figure it out. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. And that's literally what I've done.
Exactly. And I think that is the key. The key is that, but still moving forward, even if you're moving forward in the dark, like you only go as far as like the light illumines that path, and know that there will be another light as the path goes on. And that's how I approached, producing a new product. I never went into manufacturing, supply chain, fulfillment, patents. that was really tricky. Pitching to companies where I was the only woman and told in front of all of these qualified investors that they tried to shame me. They're like, okay, we'll hear from the woman. And that's how I was introduced, the woman. And I'm thinking, this is not like 2021. Like, well, where am I? And I'm like, and so I get up there. I'm like, I'm happy to represent the women. And I'm just like, it's like so dismissive, but that is the challenges that we have faced our whole lives. And I think that we have to be first and foremost caregivers to ourselves to go through sometimes the obstacles that are in our way for our lifestyle, our looks, our dress, our our hair, our just all of these, how we parent, how we don't have kids, if we just like some things that I know my son will never face, and that's a point of privilege, and that we as women just don't get. What do you think about that? Sorry, I took it down. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead, Raquel.
Yeah, well, for me in that aspect, what comes to mind, to be honest with you, I am a millennial. And so sometimes they refer to us as the sandwich generation because we are caught in between taking care of our elderly parents or older adults. At the same time, we're rearing children. So we're wearing multiple hats all at once, and while still trying to decipher who we are as individuals. And so I went through that. I'm going through that, and I'm telling you, it is tough terrain to navigate sometimes if you don't have the right, guidance, the right mentors, the right coaches, the right support system. And so it's very important to not lose who you are, to not lose yourself. Because again, I'm going back with my example of culturally speaking, I lost myself filling societal norms and roles that I just felt went against what I wanted. And so when I fully liberated myself and said, okay, Raquel, go out there and explore the world again. And I said, this is really what I want. And where my heart is in helping communities and helping people. And how can I do that using the talents that I've been given, God given or life acquired, however you want to say it. How do I utilize that to the best of my ability to be able to be effective and deliver messages, help individuals to get out of bad situations, or just inspire folks to do something about themselves, about their lives, and inspire others. So it's just like a little domino effect. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think about it.
How about you, Nikki?
I mean, it's such a great topic, and I going with what Raquel was saying, having the ability to have community to help you when you are struggling is, it is everything. I want to actually shout out my dear friend, Lori Clear, who is the publisher of Nana's books, who I met through LinkedIn. And, we live in this space of this, there was a void of this sort of adaptive text resource. And Lori's doing something very different, but it's so beautifully created and crafted. Her books are fantastic. And so we support each other a lot through our endeavor to, we're creating these innovative products that didn't exist a couple of years ago. And so that is actually really challenging, I find, in a way, to like try to navigate into a field where I'm not necessarily competing against anybody because there's not anybody out there, which also makes it kind of challenging in a weird way because people aren't quite sure what to do with Mirador. Like, what is this? We don't understand what this is. Is this for? There's never been anything like it. There's never been anything like Nana's book. So it's like, how do you navigate that road and try to show people how necessary something like this is when they've never seen it before? And so in that sense, having a strong business community to kind of just keep you moving when you kind of get backslid and you're just like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Am I even creating something that somebody wants? But I do get those fantastic emails and letters from our readers and from our activity directors that they do find Mirador valuable. They do find Nana's books valuable. I know that it's something that people want and need. And but having the so like having community, but also just kind of keeping yourself fortified, like, okay, because I've also sort of lived on the fringe my whole life. I've bopped all over the place. I've never really settled into one thing or another, and I've been super happy with that road. But you get to a point where it's like, have I found my thing? And I'm so passionate about this work, and I really love doing it. And I know that it's something that is like what Raquel said, like it is straight from my heart. And I know that Traci and Janice, that's true for your work as well. And that's an interesting road when you're like, if it's not quite, successful to somebody else's standard, how to keep moving through that. And it's challenging as challenging, but it's a beautiful also.
It is. And I'm looking at you ladies, and I am just so proud. I guess, for lack of a better word, but I'm proud of the trailblazing that each of you are doing, and the sense of community that you bring along the trail. You're not just like marking the trail for yourself. You're like, you're like with your sickle, and you're out there and you're widening the trail, saying, come on, let's all go down together. Nicole is like, the one who is like really helping to push our message out there with her amazing posts and graphics. We've got, and by the way, safe thoughts to Randy, who is going through some weather challenges out there, I'm seeing in the comments. So Randy, you're in our hearts, so be safe in your community as well. I think it's community. It's community that gets us through. It's community that, with Nikki and I living in Oregon, that got us to the West Coast. It wasn't just one person who went to the West Coast. It was the roads that were paved by sweat and to carve out those wagon wheels. And there's so many wagons around here that you can see, which is kind of fun. If y'all come out to Oregon, we'll take you on some of those great tours to see the Oregon Trail. And that's what you're doing. You guys are creating a whole new trail, a whole new economy, a whole new industry that says caregivers are not under wraps and undercover. It's an industry that majority of people don't identify that they're in it. Like Raquel, I don't think you call yourself a caregiver, even though you are a mom and caring for your elderly parents. Traci, you are running a network, but rarely do I hear you say, I'm a caregiver. Well, you and I know that you're caregiving for your mom. And Nikki, you gave caregiving to your aunt, and I was privileged to meet her, who inspired Mirador magazine. I think that you ladies, I just want to recognize how hard you're working, because I've intimately worked with like you all in a different capacity. Raquel, you traveled with me back home from Florida, and we texted the whole trip. And that's 6.5 hours, everyone. And you texted me, and you were my community that trip. And,
yes.
I'm grateful that we each have a TV show, that you're just sharing your passion and your vision. And I will stop talking, but
yeah,
Traci,
no. Traci, go on.
I think the reality is that I think women are stronger than they think they are, and I think sometimes you have to get your back against the wall. I never wanted to be a career woman. I just wanted to be a wife and a mom. How crazy is that? And here I am now working this like global crazy. But the thing is that the world has a way of kind of turning you on its heel, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, this is where I'm at, and I've got two choices. I either move forward, or I just completely take no for an answer and say that's okay, that's the end. And I think all of us just decided we weren't going to take no for an answer. Janice, with your Traci, with your dad, you just decided, okay, this is not acceptable. I'm not going to let my dad have 25 pillows underneath his head and have all of them keep falling on the floor. And, that's not going to work for me, and, I think it's, and same thing with Nikki, with Mirador, and, and Raquel, and me too. The reality is that I was like, there has to be a way to marry all these people that I talked to at hospice that said that they needed help. And all these people that once I met in the caregiving space were saying, where are the caregivers? How can we connect with them? I'm like, there has to be a way to marry these people. And I had no idea. And, I think that's the key is we just have to not say no. And we have to realize how empowered we are. And we have to give ourselves more credit than we actually, a lot of times, want to give.
I have a question for everyone. When was the moment you had your vision to write a magazine, to start a TV show, Raquel, to write a book, to you say like this is a dream come true? When can you pinpoint your vision moment?
My goodness. Well, I can start at that.
Okay.
For me, I always knew, and I know this is going to sound weird, but some people may take it weird, but I always knew that I was destined for something bigger than I would ever understand in my life. And what that was, I didn't know. So I lived, I went off to college. I just was eager to devour the world, this vivacious 18-year-old, ready to soak it all and just, enlighten myself, travel the world, volunteer everywhere that I could, learning all these languages, right? But I always knew that there was something special about me. Once I started living my young adulthood life, got married, had the kids, which they have been a blessing, and I don't want that to be misconstrued. I realized that that was not the end for me. That was not it. Yes, I became a professional. I have my career, but there was more for me than just my 9 to 5. When I quit corporate, so that was literally almost 2 years ago. I quit corporate and fully dove in nose first into entrepreneurship. I knew that that was the moment where I needed to segment myself and say, okay, Raquel, this is it. This is the time that you have been wanting to do your own thing. Was it easy? No, it is not easy. But the legacy that I'm wishing to leave and lead with love and kindness is rooted in adversity, life experiences, trauma to some degree, but I am trying to make that trauma count in a positive way to inspire others to follow their heart. So it all boils down. I finished my book that you're seeing there with a dedication to my daughters. And I said, in Spanish, es cada cabeza es un mundo, pero el corazón tuvo la razón, which literally translates everybody, has their own wants and desires. But at the end of the day, my heart was right. And so I urge my daughters to follow their hearts and not feel that they have to, commit themselves to these molds, predisposed things that they already tell them just because they're Latinas or women and of a certain age, etc. So to me, it was that moment. So just knowing that there was more opportunities out there. I'm about to turn 40 in a few months, and I'm not shy to say it, but I feel like I just started living, to be honest with you.
You're a babe, my dear. You're a gorgeous babe, and I love it. I love that you figured it out at 40. I wish I did that in 40. Nikki, what was your? And I see Susanna is on here, and I just want to say congratulations to you and another amazing woman who went live for the first time today. So congratulations to you, and also congratulations to your two books that you wrote. And Nikki, Susanna lives here in Oregon, so we're gonna have to do it.
Hey.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do like how PDX in the house event. So Nikki, what was your moment?
Yeah, Raquel, I love that what you said, by the way. And by the way, 40 is when I started playing drums, and so who knows what can happen from there. So anyway, so I could actually tell you exactly when this happened. I was driving with my ex. Actually, we were driving in our band van from Portland up to Port Townsend to play a show for Girl Haggard. And this whole reading thing, and Rebecca not being able to read her magazines was making me absolutely crazy. And I've been thinking about it. And it was on that drive, I'm like, I'm going to have to make my own magazine that basically that has activities, and it's basically a Mirador. And we got up to this show, and after the show, I remember talking with Tave about it. And that's when that happened. That was the fall of 2017. And it took some time. Oh my gosh, at some point, I'm not ready to do this anytime soon, but at some point I would love to show people the early versions of this magazine that I put together. And like, I'm a decent writer. I am not a graphics person. So I was basically like putting together this thing, like, here's how I want it to look, except 1,000 times better. And so, having to have, the talents of Tave and my graphic artist, Ty Juncker, who I'd worked with on another project, come in and make Mirador as gorgeous as it is kind of beyond my wildest dreams. But that was the moment where it's like, if something, and I was never sort of like, I never wanted to be I'm not a big in front of the camera person, behind the scenes. And I never really thought about, I can do my own business. But I've spent most of my life propping up other businesses and other nonprofits and other worlds. And I'm like, there's a sense of like, I think I can do this now. Like, I think I can do this I think I can do this. Like, I think I've got the skills and the community that I need to put a resource together that I think my aunt would enjoy, and hopefully other people would enjoy also. So 2017. And so we ran off our first issue in June of 2021. So
Wow.
it took us a while to get one out. So yeah.
Right. I love that vision. And I have to say, out here in Oregon, people read a lot because it's rainy a lot. A lot. But I have to say, we also
everybody should be reading. It's so good for it's so good. That's what makes me so crazy, because we want to keep people reading as long as possible.
We do.
For your mind, your heart, all of these things.
100%. And we had rain just the other day, and we're just like all excited because like it rains in the summer never, and it makes us happy. Okay, Traci, when was your vision for a network? I don't know.
I never really honestly envisioned a network. I mean, that was way out of the realm of possibilities. What was crazy was that a year ago when I went on all in my business, and I decided to start trying to connect with people in media on LinkedIn. And I'm not kidding you, I probably tried like 50 people. I mean, locally, nationally, I'm not kidding you. I mean, I was just like all over the place. And there were literally only 2 that responded. 2. And what's amazing was the first one that responded was the one that ended up inviting me to her TV show, Serena Fazan. And I had one client at the time, and she asked me if I could bring a client. And I said, yeah, I'll bring my one client. And God love Kevin McRitchie. He flew in and he came in. And while we were there, we were talking about my business and what I was doing. And like I say, God love Kevin. He was singing my praises, even though I'd been off of my business for 11 months, taking care of my parents. And I looked at them and I said, there's nothing in mass media about TV. And I said, it would be really cool if you would you like consider that? And all of a sudden it was the craziest thing, because they just looked at me and said, well, what would that look like? And it caught me completely off guard. I had no idea what to say. And I said, well, and I talk about thinking on the spur of your feet. I was just like, holy crap. Okay. And so and then he even said, what would you call it? And I literally came up with Caregiving Worldwide on that spot and just said, Caregiving Worldwide. And he said, okay, let's go sit down and let's just talk about it. And that actually just started the conversation. And I literally had no idea it would ever even go past 30 close friends and family watching, honestly. But that was where, and then I walked out of that meeting and I went and I sat in my car and I was like, oh my goodness. And now here we are 9 months later.
Wow, 9 months. You just birthed the TV show. The child. I have to say, we are coming up on the top of the hour. So we are going to be wrapping up our Hounds of Business Happy Hour takeover of Mike Asher-Brainer's amazing vision and show. And I'm so grateful to him to allow me, and thank you, Sia, for suggesting that I be the host today. I am really grateful that you all stayed on with us in the comments. So thank you. I was not great at doing both. So my apologies for not chiming in. I see you though, and I thank you. And I just want to like encourage us all to just really trust our instincts, trust our inner vision, our inner voice. It is the core of who we are and our purpose of our life. And when we listen to that, wonderful things happen. A magazine is born, a TV show is born, a person who knows that they want more out of life, and then she's getting her own TV show. I'm just proud of you women for not letting any societal norms or dictates stand in your way to get to the ocean of your dreams. You are the Colorado rivers, and you have carved out your pathway. And I'm proud of each one of you. And I'm proud of our listeners for supporting these amazing women. And for you yourselves are also doing great things, because that's why you're attracted to the Hounds and to support community, because in community we achieve. And with that, I am going to close out my very first show that I've ever done. So thank
But other way, you were phenomenal,
Yes,
Janice.
you
So
did awesome.
congrats to
Congrats,
you.
Yeah.
Janice.
So good. So good.
I just really like, I have to do live for HSN 12 shows before October 1st. So everybody's going to be on the show. Those who are in the audience want to be on the show, just do it, because we got to bang out 12 of them for HSN. So let's rock this thing out. Let's just have a fun conversation. It's going to be called Comfort Matters, because you know what? Everybody deserves to be comfortable in my world. Thank you all so much. And my panelists stay on so we can chat behind the scenes. And thank you everybody who has joined us. I appreciate you all. Cheers.
Hi, thank you.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.